what happens when your tools can't handle that big data anymore? Where do you go from there?
Yeah, and so there's definitely some challenges there, right? Like I think the reason for this is that the Python data science, like all those packages that I just mentioned, were generally written in a world where you were using a single CPU core and you loaded all of your data into memory. So if you had a 2 gig CSV file, no problem, and you can load that, and then you can kind of do stuff. So now when you move into this like big data territory, maybe you're not even pulling in a CSV anymore. Maybe you have to hit some database that's hundreds of gigs. Like the worst case is that you can't even access that data at all with these tools, because again, you would have to load all of the data into memory. Like when you load something with Pandas, it has to go into memory in your computer. So if your data set's bigger than what your computer has, you can't even load it. So that's like the worst case. The best case is, okay, maybe the data set is pretty big, or you sample it down or whatever. You get it into Pandas, but then when you try to start to do stuff, it just takes forever.
Yeah,
because
loads and yeah.
Exactly, or your kernel dies and you have to restart it and like all this stuff, right? And that's because again, it was written in that like single core fashion, and so those are the challenges. And so like, thinking about like, how do I address this? Well, it's like, okay, let me get more RAM, right? That's kind of like the solution. Let me get more hardware. You can get more RAM, but then you're still stuck on that single core kind of world. So you get to this place where you somehow need to use more RAM, and you somehow need to use more CPU cores or even more machines. And then that's when we get into some of these like distributed kind of applications and tools.